Good evening. Welcome to another episode of Topics with Bangem. Unfortunately, Maurice is not able to host his show due to a personal emergency, but if you want to stay tuned to an old episode of The Corner, which is a radio show that was hosted by me and my friend Gabe Lorenzo, who's going to be the potential host of Local Vision Rock USA. Very phenomenal in sports, me with the news. You check it out, you'll be enjoyed because these episodes, The Corner was played on the Vimeo site to win a prize on MTVU. So check out one of the episodes of The Corner. Hello, welcome back to The Corner. My name is Ricky Corpron, news personality for WLJC Lehman College in the Bronx, New York. In the headlines, natural gas that tumbled in 6 years are in talks within the New York area, as meteorologists predicted milder weather that would reduce demand for heating fuel after the polar blast this week. Gas led about 11%, the biggest drop since August 20, 2007, after reaching a 5-year high in today's trading. A midday update to the National Weather Service global forecast system models showed higher temperatures than previously in the forecast in the Midwest area from March 6 to March 10, which is the last trading day for March option. Futures have rallied for 29% this year, biggest gainer after coffee on the Standard for Poor GSCI index over 24 commodities. Cold weathers and winter storms have depleted gas stockpiles to the lowest level since 2004. Hedge funds increased bullish bets on natural gas for the 5th time in 6 weeks, the Commodity Futures Trading Commission said in a February 21 report. There's always a downside risk with a change to milder weather, said Tom Sau, Senior Vice President of Energy Trading at F.E. Stone Latin America Incorporated in Miami. This is a weather-based market and we're getting closer to spring. March 6 calls were the most active options in electronic trading. They were at least 29 cents lower at 2.4 cents per million BTU on volume at 2:36 p.m. Calls accounted for 69% of trading volume. Implied rapidness for April at the money options was at 48.55% at 2:30 p.m. with 32.05% a year ago for April 2013 options. This appears to be the result of liquidation of long positions ahead of the options expiration, said Terry Vincent Rath, the director of commodity strategy at BNP Paribas in New York. Money managers net long natural gas positions on wager on rising prices jumped 5% in the 7 days ended February 18th to the highest level since May, CFTC data show. The measure includes an index of 4 contracts adjusted to future equivalents such as NYMEX natural gas futures and NYMEX Henry Hub swap futures, NYMEX Henry Hub cumulate swaps, and the ICE futures of the Henry Hub contract. Henry Hub on Earth, Louisiana, is the delivery for NYMEX futures, a benchmark price for the fuel. The low was in Kansas City, Kansas on March 9th, which is 35 degrees Fahrenheit, 2 above normal according to AccuWeather Incorporated. In State College, Pennsylvania, about 49% of U.S. households use gas for heating, according to the Energy Information Administration. The Energy Department's statistical arm, gas stockpiles has totaled 1.4443 trillion cubic feet in the week ended in February 14th, the least for that period since 2004. The data shows that supplies were at a record deficit of 34% to the 5-year average. Gas inventories at the end of March, when the heating season draws to a close, will drop to 1.33 trillion cubic feet, the lowest level since 2008, which is the short-term energy outlook of the month. In other news, there's more talk about oil, which is a benefactor that makes cars moves. There's a brewing debate from last week about hydrogen cars challenging hybrids. Under pressure from state regulation, several automakers are preparing to roll out emission-free cars powered by hydrogen fuel cells cells instead of gasoline engines. These car makers have disclosed plans to lease a small number of vehicles in California and a few countries in Europe by the end of the year. South Korea's Hyundai Motor Company is suspected to be the first out of the gate since to the spring, followed on by next year Japanese automakers Toyota Motor Corporation. California wants at least 15% of new vehicles sold in the state to produce zero emissions by 2025, and its regulations require automakers to sell electric vehicles or fuel cells that meet the requirement to mandate that fuel cells will get double the emission credits compared to electric vehicles. The tests are an effort to determine how hydrogen vehicles will compete with far less expensive gasoline or diesel power fuel cars. The biggest problem so far is their costs, and the next problem is figuring out how to get these cars to a fueling station, which are pumped with compressed hydrogen. Leasing a mid-sized hydrogen-powered car can cost as much as a luxury sedan. Hyundai's Tucson's hydrogen fuel vehicle will be leased for almost $500 a month, and only to people who live near fueling stations. The fuel included in the lease, which is 20% of its older model for Clarity sedans and ranges from $600 a month since 2008. The price of fueling sites have regulated hydrogen-powered cars to a small demonstration fleets, mostly in California, where taxpayers are willing to subsidize refueling stations and offers other incentives. The state has a plan to build a network of over 100 refueling stations across the state over the next decade. Europe has been pushing hydrogen-powered cars too since last year. Germany implemented an ambitious plan to spread fueling stations throughout the country. European regulations are based on an average CO2 emissions from vehicles, so that zero-emission cars could help the company's average. Some Scandinavian countries are also heavily taxed for the new gasoline or diesel fuel vehicles and give tax breaks to the buyers of electric and hydrogen-powered cars. The things that are about fuel vehicles have the potential to offer many things that consumers expect from gasoline vehicles. For long-term goals, it could play a greater role, said John Swanson, who's an air pollution specialist within the California Air Resources Board. Fuel cells that use a chemical reaction between oxygen and hydrogen create electricity and water. In the car, fuel cell will replace batteries as a source of power for electric motors, which will allow faster refueling time than the battery-powered electric cars such as Tesla Motors Incorporated, and the Hyundai says that its hydrogen-powered Tucson sport utility vehicle can refill in 8 minutes. Tesla said that a 240-volt link takes an hour for each 29 miles of driving. So any thoughts about car? Email us your thoughts at thecornerradio@gmail.com. For more of your news feeds, stay tuned to Lehman College Radio in the Bronx, New York. And my name is Ricky Corporon, news personality. Hello, welcome back to the Thursday episode of The Corner. My name is Ricky Corporon, news personality for Lehman College Radio in the Bronx, New York. In the headlines, there are some talks about a series of defeat in Capitol Hill. The Republicans' Tea Party wing has shifted its attention to congressional primaries, setting up a major test of how much movement clout has been weakened. Earlier this month, House Speaker John Boehner and other Republican leaders had ushered in a budget deal and debt limit increase through Congress, with the goal of avoiding the kind of partisan fights that can alienate independent voters in the election year. The decision was made by many in the Tea Party, who said that Republicans has given up on winning new spending cuts. In Mr. Boehner's side of the home state of Ohio, conservative activists redoubled their efforts to challenge GOP incumbents and win state party posts. Tea Party Alliance candidates from Kentucky to Mississippi to Texas moved to capitalize on anger at party leaders. The National Conservative Group has issued a call for disposing the entire GOP congressional leadership. What got everyone re-energized was the debt ceiling, said Ann Becker, who was the president of the Cincinnati Tea Party. She attended a meeting in Mr. Boehner's district. More than 200 people came on Saturday to discuss a long shot challenge for him in the GOP nomination. nomination. The Civil War has been broken into actual warfare, said Tomasz Wistowski, president of the Ohio Citizens PAC, a coalition of Tea Party and conservative groups that has been there for the first time. It fielded GOP primary challenges to state legislators, as well as candidates for the party central committee and local representatives. We will never get the governance we seek until the people voting on policies are there to represent the people and not the special interest. The most prominent test of GOP leadership will come from Tea Party's backed Senate in the primaries of Georgia, Tennessee, Mississippi, Kansas, and South Carolina, as well as Kentucky and Texas, said by many nonpartisan analysts, is the most intense battleground in Mississippi, where State Senate Chris McDaniel is challenging Mr. Cochran from support of local Tea Party and national conservative groups. The Cochran campaign disputes the challenge Mississippi's Senator Cochran as a consistently strong conservative voice for them. They want him now more than ever to fight the overreach of the Obama administration, said Jordan Russell, a Cochran campaign spokesman. However, Tea Party activists contend that they still have power. Jenny Beth Martin, which is the president of Tea Party Patriots, said the group played an important role of GOP shoveling immigration legislation. After Mr. Boner issued the principles of guiding his plans to advance bills on the issue, Tea Party group launched a robocall campaign that Ms. Martin says that connected over 42,000 protest calls to the office of 90 members of Congress. In entertainment news, rapper DMX could face foreclosure on the Mount Kisco home that was purchased by him and his wife. Last week, he admits to news sources that the news he owns in Mount Kisco is going into foreclosures. But the Yonkers-raised rapper said that his estranged wife, Tashira Simmons, is to blame. According to TMZ, DMX hasn't made any payments to his $1 million property since 2008. He tells the websites that he moved out of the house in 2005 and Tashira agreed to take over the other payments, even though he advised her to move into a less expensive home. I told her she's living above her means, that you can't live on the same block as Martha Stewart and Chevy Chase. You gotta downgrade, the rapper said. He also said that his wife refuses to do so because the house is under his name and she does not give an expletive about the credit. DMX currently owes $260,000 in payments, but is owing huge sums of money. Nothing new for the Rough Rider, whose bankruptcy was rejected in last November. He's the father of 12. Tashira is the mother of 4 of his children. Recently resolved a $1 million child support case with the mother of his daughters. In other entertainment news, Prince Harry's pays tribute to Nelson Mandela. The 29th royal attended a memorial service honoring the late South African leader and former president of the Westminster Abbey in London earlier today. Harry, who represented Queen Elizabeth II during the service, arrived to the national service of Thanksgiving event in a former suit and blue during the memorial. Harry shook hands and met with South African Archbishop Desmond Tutu and enjoyed a gospel reading by Prime Minister David Cameron and music performed by a South African troupe. Among the services, there was 2,000 guests was Idris Elba, who recently played Mandela in the movie Mandela Long Walk Freedom, arrived at the Westminster Showed Abbey in a black and white suit before helping to honor the late civil rights legend. Nelson Mandela's daughters was Zinani Mandela de Lamini and Zinzi Mandela, also attended the life of their father. Mandela has died on December 5th at the age of 95 and his health has been recently falling for some time prior to passing away. He was laid to rest at his childhood village of Quignon on December 15. President Barack Obama, Charlize Theron, Bono, and Naomi Campbell were among the celebrities, youth leaders, and activists in attendance at the burial. Any thoughts about what you heard in the corner so far? Please email us at thecornerradio@gmail.com. For more of your news needs, stay tuned to Lehman College Radio in the Bronx, New York, where we have sports talk with the well-known sports correspondent Gabe Lorenzo after the break. My name is Ricky Corporon. I'm your news personality. Hello, welcome back to the Thursday episode of The Corner. My name is Ricky Corporon, news personality for Main College Radio in the Bronx, New York. Now it's time for Sports Talk with my main man here, sports correspondent Gabe Lorenzo.
How you doing? Good morning. Welcome to The Corner.
So we got Jason Collins in our plate today.
Yeah, man. First home appearance with the Nets. He was on a road trip going against the Lakers, but this is his first appearance at home, and the reception he got was amazing. Came in at 2:41 left in the game, fourth quarter. I mean, he should have got more minutes, but Mason Plumlee and Black playing great, and they weren't injured, so he came in, and yeah, that's about it. I mean, he made his debut. He had one steal, one rebound, and he had a shot, but he missed. I mean, what's your take on Jason Collins?
To be honest, he could be the next Kobe, but since he's the first African American homosexual player to come out, they should build him up to Kobe status because
for
publicity. Because it's that they're bashing Collins because of the issue with his homosexuality and things like that, and he didn't score any buckets because starting out he was scoring no buckets like LeBron, Kobe,
he's
well-known
players. Publicity, but he's not scoring. I know what you mean. He's not being productive. But my thing is, he's only played 7 minutes, and for Jason Kidd to not bring him in the game early, and bring him with 2:41 when the game was over, it shows that the team is. And Jason Kidd and Jason Collins said it's about basketball. It's not so much about me or with the fans, because the fans at the game, they were cheering. They were saying bring in Collins, or pretty much having cheers for them to bring him in. But I mean, it was a good thing that it shows that the team is about winning. It's not about a publicity or what the fans want. Not necessarily not what the fans want, but it's more so about orientation to win.
Yeah, because I think he should get more playing time. It's not really fair, because it's ridiculous. A 10-day contract, what he's going to do in the next 10 days? Is he going to play left bench? I don't know.
But the contract is for 10 days and 7 minutes a game. It says it in the contract. So, for him to sign it, he agrees to that. It's not like he wants more. He has 7 minutes. That's his maximum.
I understand, but the 10-day contract is just it's ridiculous, though, because
it expired Tuesday.
And it expires Tuesday,
he's expected to get signed for the rest of the year.
What's going to happen after his 10-day contract? Is he going to move to another team?
He's expected to be signed for the rest of the season with the Nets. The Nets are at 500 right now. They're looking good, and not that he's had a huge impact, but Jason Collins has played with the Nets before. He's played with Jason Kidd. He's really close with Jason Kidd. So for him, I think he's going to be signed for the next year, and he's expected to be signed for the rest of the year.
Yeah, because I want him to beat Jeremy Lin status when he first came in.
Knicks, we got Collins, right?
Dropping buckets out of nowhere, scoring 11 straight games. That's the status I want to Jason Collins for seasons to come.
You expect him to be? You want him to be productive? Is what you expect?
I want him to be more productive as Jeremy Lin. He doesn't have to.
He's not Jeremy Lin, though.
He's not Jeremy Lin, but he doesn't have to be extreme, though.
His whole career has been based off his physical play. He sets that physical attitude, you're not gonna get no easy basket. He fouls when needed to. That's his thing. But for me, I just expect him to be all about defense and to help the team, because the team they're injured. Brook Lopez is out for the season.
Right.
Kevin Garnett's suffering with back spasm. Mason Plumlee, rookie, he's getting some time. They just traded away Reggie Evans, one of the best rebounders they had last year. Andre Blatch right now is probably the only big man they have that's real consistent, but he power forward playing center.
Deron Williams getting playing time?
Yeah, he's getting playing time. The other day against the Bulls, he had 20 and 6. He's looking good. But at the same time, he's been injured a lot this year.
Yeah, I know.
Jason Collins, I expect him to help the team, but he's not going to be the greatest impact. On defense, he's going to have an impact, but he's not going to be a star. He's not going to average 30 and 10 rebounds. He's not going to have 3 blocks a game in 7 minutes. I don't expect that.
Yeah, because you want New York to go hard in basketball.
Yeah, we're at 500. We're there. We're in the playoffs right now.
Yeah.
The East is weak this year, so we're definitely in the playoffs. The Knicks are the 3rd worst in the East.
I know we touched over and over about that. Their defense, man, I don't know.
They need Jason Collins.
They really need Jason Collins.
Yeah.
They really need their people. But I personally think that New York is grimy with money,
I mean, yeah, but it's not that. It's more the organization. Back to the topic. Back to Jason Collins.
Back to Jason Collins.
Yeah, Jason Collins, he came out being the first openly gay player in all of sports in America, which I feel is a good thing. A lot of people thought it was going to be a bad thing. They thought he was going to have all these bad receptions and everything.
Yeah.
I mean, I thought so too, but the way he came out, now he's like the talk of the town, the talk of the main thing of sports right now.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's going to make it easier for other players. And it's funny because all his career, he's been wearing number 34.
Right.
He played for Stanford. He played number 34. When he came to the Nets, he changed his number 35 because Aaron Williams had it. And so, when he got traded to Memphis in 08, he went back to number 34. When he started with the Celtics, when he first made his a little gesture to him being gay when he started wearing the number 98.
Wow.
And not a lot of people know what that number 98 is. Do you know?
Nah,
You know where it comes from? It was a stepping stone for him to come out say he's openly gay. But number 98 comes to honor a kid called Matthew Shepard.
Oh yeah, Matthew Shepard. He was the bully homosexual teen that got killed. Right. That is so symbolic and
very symbolic
to that.
Matthew Shepard. He was a University of Wyoming student, and he was kidnapped. They tortured him, and they left him lashed to a prairie fence, where he stayed there for 5 days. Where they found him, he was dead. It was an anti-gay crime.
Yeah.
You know, and Collins chose to wear that number 98. It's funny because when he was asked why he wore that number, he used to brush it off and say that he wore it because he wanted to give the referees problems with hand signals when trying to issue him a foul. I mean, when you think about it, you know, it's like, really, like, that's why you do it. Like, that's pretty, you know, like, so, like, unserious. Like, that was okay. Like, you know, like, really, that's what you do? But now that they came out open gay, you see it as, wow, he was wearing that number, something that we didn't even see. And now we see it after the fact, you know?
That's intense for real life and the game of basketball.
You know, and I like the fact it's not a big issue with him. Like, every Barack Obama called him, Kobe tweeted him, said they were proud of him. Everybody. He even said it. He wasn't expecting the reception. And now that he's openly gay, he feels like it's better for other players to come out. And I mean, and from what we hear, University, I forgot his name. You know,
Michael Sam, the first college football player to come out of the closet. It's funny that I did a report on that because he influenced that, and a lot of players just come out. Like there was this soccer player from Argentina, I believe. He came out. A lot of people are coming out. MMA fighter Liz Caracho, she came out. She did her little thing. It's just Jason Collins, man. He paved the way for impact for homosexual athletes to participate. And it's funny that people are just against that in the sport industry because if you watch this thing on Law and Order where there was this openly gay football player, they just bash him and things like that. But that's just it was just like based on that, but it was just like it was like a little it was just like a little show where they had this openly out of the closet NFL player, and then just people was just threatening him, killing him. But thank heavens we don't see this oftenly where people just do that, go run amok.
For Michael Sam to come to the NFL, you know, I remember he had a press conference and people were looking at him like he was a gay NFL player rather than just an NFL player. And he said it too. He's like, I can't believe people are looking at me as a gay NFL player rather than just an NFL player. Yeah, and imagine when he goes to the NFL how it's going to be. They just started saying that they're going to ban them using the N-word during the game.
Yeah, because it's a 15-yard penalty.
15-yard penalty for whoever. And, if they do that with the N-word, what are they going to do with the homosexuality? The word is more extreme. It just shows you that they do give homosexuality slurs to other players.
Yeah, I don't know, because it's that the thing is with these like slurs, the N-word or homosexual oriented slur, because that these sports like they cater to a family-friendly audience. And then they want everybody, kids watch it, old people watch it, and they want to see family friendly. They don't want to see
people fighting, people talking about that. Like that's not going to teach our youth.
Nah, they don't want to see this, that, and the third. Like there was this incident where Stevie Johnson, he was at Buffalo Bills and then he was playing when Plaxico Burress was in the Jets. He scored a touchdown, and then he was doing this dance and mocking Plaxico Burress's gunshot wound. It was funny to an extent, but that was just
but at the same time, that's a serious thing for someone like Plaxico, because you don't bring that up. So imagine that with homosexuality, something that's really, really personal like that. Especially, it's hard to come out and say that if you're an NFL player, because it's a very physical game.
Yeah, it's a very physical game. It's tough, and it's pretty much under scrutiny because Richie Incognito, he bullies his teammate in football just to toughen him up, and he calls him a bunch of expletives and just to try to toughen him up. Yeah,
I mean, stuff like that you leave to the coaching staff, don't you?
Yeah, I leave that to the coaching staff, but
don't take it upon yourself to do.
Yeah, because the coaching staff are extreme like that too. Because I've seen clips on ESPN where the Rutgers coach was like threw a ball at his players and yelling these types of expletives.
I know you remember when Rick Pitino was the coach of the Penn State, football Penn State, and there was a huge thing going on where they were having like touching players sexually.
Yeah, that's very crazy.
Not even crazy, you know. It just goes to show you that this topic of homosexuality is a big topic. You know, it's very personal. If people would go to jail for doing stuff like that, imagine talking about it.
Yeah,
especially during the game.
That's hard,
especially in a country now that's starting to legalize gay marriage.
Right.
And all those kind of things. You know, it's a huge topic. And one more thing, they said Michael Sam being gay would hurt his draft stock.
I think they should award him just to be a player, because you don't know if he could be the next Ed Reed, for crying out loud.
He could be the next whoever. You know, he's a football player. He has the right to play.
He has the right to play.
Gay does not mean he can't play. It's the same. It goes the same thing to race. The same thing to a culture where Jackie Robinson. You know, he was the black player who's playing. It's the same thing with being
with
homosexual.
Everybody, with Jesse Owens, where he was a track runner.
Exactly.
In the 40s, and Hitler was just like,
goes back to race.
It goes back to race. All right. So any final thoughts?
I don't know what to say. I mean, whether you're gay or not, you know, it's equality. This is America, freedom. You know, we all have the right to play, the right to do what we want to do and chase what we want to do. There should be no distinctions between gay or not gay, black or white, or whatever it is.
Right.
We're all human.
Right, I feel you, man. Thank you for listening to The Corner. My name is Ricky Corporon, news personality, alongside with Gabriel Lorenzo, sports correspondent.
Yep. Follow me on Twitter, Gabe J. Lorenzo, G-A-B-E-J Lorenzo, Lorenzo.
Follow me at Instagram and Twitter at rcorporan89, RCORPORAN 89. And we're going to stay tuned for more sports talk, more of everything, and also follow other shows such as Disc Jockey and The Lighthouse here on Lehman College Radio. Follow us on social media, listen to it on the radio, tune in at all types of things. So my name is Ricky Corporon. I'm signing out, and thank you, Gabe Lorenzo, once again for the sports talk.
Be back on Monday.
All right. Checking out one of the episodes of The Corner. Unfortunately, we're out of time right now, but if you want to help out with our shows, because usually we're short-staffed, please call the numbers listed on the closing credits. And we're going to send our shout-outs to Smokey River. Unfortunately, he cannot be here with us due to emergencies, so is Tanya and Maurice. So we're going to have new fresh crew. Everything's going to be off the ground up. So check out our website, because we constructed the best website to access the best media shows on tinyurl.com/Media One Rock Solid Broadcasting. You get all your public access needs, such as Local Vision, Topic Talk, and Culture and Politics, a show that is hosted by me and Gino. We're taking over the world, so thank you and enjoy yourselves.